Alright guys, welcome back to the Slayer Lineage Devlog episode 4. Today we'll be going over a concept that I'm actually excited to talk about, the limb damage and regeneration system. This includes how damage occurs, how regeneration works, blood regeneration in minor wounds, regeneration of limbs, bandages and bleeding, and data saving. As always, thank you guys for all the support you guys have been showing on this devlog series thus far. I felt a little iffy about the production of the last episode I did, but people like Sly Kage and Wiz Dojo saw the video. And along with that, my normal audience in the Discord and just on the YouTube channel in general. And that really makes me happy to see, because it really shows that this devlog series is actually getting out there to a broader and bigger audience than I ever thought I'd be able to reach. I always like to keep the episode intro to a minimal, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright. So let's start with section 1, how damage occurs. Whether you get poisoned, you get slashed, you take fall damage, or even getting your guard broken during combat, your limbs are always at risk. Each type of damage interacts differently with your body. For instance, blocking heavy attacks or sword slashes can over time affect your arm's vitality, which will lead to bleeding first, and then after to dismemberment. For another instance, if you were to get poisoned, poison chips away at your health and regeneration speed over time, but doesn't result in the same detrimental effects as bodily impacts, which ranges from simple M1s or to special moves. Now, let's move into section 2, how regeneration works. Regenerating limbs is a slow and costly process unless you've mastered it. Demons start with basic regeneration, enough to stop bleeding or recover from light wounds. But to grow stronger, you'll need Muzan's magical ketchup serum or skill tree mastery to enhance recovery rates and reduce downtime. Now into section 3. Blood regeneration in minor wounds. For more minor injuries that only led to bleeding as a starter, you can heal your limbs, resulting in your limb vitality being restored and the bleeding coming to a stop. But this is not accessible to the human race, as the human race has something called concentration healing, which is connected to their breathing. But what separates the two is humans cannot regenerate limbs. Now, into section 4, regeneration of limbs. Lost a limb? With enough regeneration mastery, you can fully grow it back. The time this takes depends on your regeneration mastery and your level of skill. However, it takes resources like stamina, and there's a cooldown on this move depending on your mastery. So this trait is to be used strategically and not impulsively. On to the next section, bandages and bleeding, more for the human side. If you're ever bleeding, it's best that you get bandages. They're a temporary fix that stops blood loss and keeps you alive if you've lost a limb, especially. For if you've lost a limb as a human, this is crucial. Unless you'd rather bleed out and die, I guess. And for places like Infinity Castle, you're gonna need a lot. But, on to the final section of this devlog. Data saving. You may not be happy to hear it, but any limb you lose, any wounds you suffer from, it's all saved and even displayed at the menu. Your injuries will follow you, so take care of your body. It's core in this game and it's never been done before. The only caveat to this to help players out is if you were to lose a limb, leave the game, and come back or reset your character, the limb that was dismembered will automatically be bandaged and the bleeding will be stopped, but your limb will not be back. It's still gone. That is until the human race gets a way to keep fighting. However, even with one limb, you can still fight in this game. Whether it's one fist or one sword, you can still fight. More specifically with that, I mean if you were to lose an arm and still have one remaining, you can still fight. Come the end of the game, people are going to fall apart, but I still want to give everyone an opportunity to fight until the very end. Hinting towards my favorite Demon Slayer arc, the Sunrise Countdown. Now, with all that said, I want to thank you guys for watching the Slayer Lineage Devlog episode 4. Subscribing, liking, and sharing the video is always greatly appreciated. Now that I got past most of the fundamentals as I said last devlog, these devlogs are going to get real interesting. Thank you guys again, and until next time.
The Slayer Lineage Devlog, Episode 5.